I keep watching. I keep watching.
I think for me, it was just getting to that place where I was fed up with suffering. I spent 3 years experiencing a lot of kind of the toughest human emotions I think that you could experience: depression and anxiety, lots of life events, you know, that had created something, and then it all came crashing down. And then that feeling of despair is what I think brings us a lot to this path. It brings a lot of people.
Kind of shakes people out of their life.
It does. Yeah, and that rock bottom place I think is really an interesting place in that.
Important place to be.
Yeah, it's really important because that's the moment that you choose the alternative.
Yes.
No matter what the alternative is, although you don't know what it's going to be, what the outcome is going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be better than this place. So that's what rock bottom is, I think, for so many people. So it's actually a blessing to get there because humans are so resilient that we can stay in a state of suffering for so long.
And I think it's so easy to get into those states in the cultures we live in.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really a very common product.
You have a lot of company there.
Yeah.
You have a lot of company there. I think we're so much more used to communicating on that level where we're complaining about life or suffering together, you know? But
finding common ground.
Finding common ground, yeah. And you could stay there. You could stay there for a very long time. You could stay there for your whole life if you choose to.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an option for me. I guess I always knew there was something better. I felt in my heart that there was a way to live that didn't include all of this suffering and all of this disease. We're making ourselves so sick. You know, ultimately, it's that disease, really dis-ease that we're feeling that creates these diseases in our bodies, and we make ourselves sick.
Yeah. Well, Don Nutra has often talked about how many diseases are, and especially cancer, is trapped.
Absolutely.
It all begins as trapped emotion.
Absolutely.
Comes into disease from there.
And depression. I mean, really, depression it's really your body telling you, I'm sick of being sad. So I'm going to start shutting down until you pay attention to me.
Those are the messages you get when you're saying, kind of, I don't want to live. Then you're sending those messages to your body, and your body picks up on that.
Yeah, and then there's our thoughts,
yeah.
That we're learning how to think because we're realizing that our thoughts are manifesting our realities. So when we are constantly complaining and when we're constantly in that state of just swimming in our own despair, we start manifesting all those things that we don't want in our lives.
So the things we see in our life are really just a reflection of how we feel inside.
I think so, yeah.
Things we encounter are just reflections of ourselves.
We're creative beings, that's what we are. We're creators. We're creating our realities all the time. We're creating our lives, we're creating our relationships. So as creators, we're learning how to use those abilities of manifesting what it is that we actually want. And I think it's such an important time in the history of humanity where we're given this opportunity to really step into our power and remember the things that we can do. Remember who we are, where we came from, and the job it is that we're doing here, because we're all doing a job here, particularly here. Who knew, right? That you had to go find your true cause in the middle of the jungle, but sometimes it happens that way. We're going back to a much simpler way of living, where it's all about relationship, and it's all really, it's about sharing, and love, and just enjoying this earth. Like so many of us, we were just talking that, you know, we have these TVs where we're seeing the world through a television, but so many people never leave their home to actually see the world. So it's almost like a trap, because you feel like you're living, but you're not. You have to actually go out there and live. You actually have to go see. This is a playground. That's what it's meant to be. We're meant to be in joy and bliss and happiness, enjoying this beautiful planet that provides everything you can possibly need. There shouldn't be need. We've just accepted it. We're like, this is the way it is. There's just some people that don't have anything at all, and that's just, it's not the way it is, not the way it should be. And the only reason it is because we've accepted it that way.
Yeah.
And the day we decide that it doesn't have to be that way anymore, then that's the day that we'll change it. And that's what's happening. We're daring to believe. We're daring to believe that there can be a better way of living, and just spreading the love. I think that's what our job is, and the healing, because ultimately, with all the environmental situations that we have, and with all of our mental situations, we're very sick. You know, we're very sick. Our hearts are broken. You know, so much heartbreak. So I think that's what this medicine does for people. I think it's really healing us.
I think medicine has an important role in this.
I do. You know, I think the medicine has a very important role, as does, you know, meditation and yoga and all these beautiful tools. They're tools.
Yeah.
They're tools. But I think the medicine, what I have found, is the strongest tool that I've come across, in really making a humongous difference in a person's life and in your body. I did a lot of reading before coming on this path. I did a lot of reading. Yeah. I did a lot of reading, and Buddhism played a very important role, and a lot of beautiful channeled material. And I read about this happening, that we would be coming together, this group of people would be coming together to reconnect and sort of do this job, because I think this has been in the works for a long time. Chicken. And I think it's all very intentional. I think everyone that we're meeting right now, it's very intentional that we're coming together. And we wrote this story for ourselves. I really believe that in my heart. That's why it's a remembering more than a learning. It's just a remembering what it is that we said we would do here. And it's been beautiful. I mean, my journey with ayahuasca started last year with my dear little brother from the stars. Yeah, and in a year, I have lived more than my entire life, for sure. And simple, super, super simple. It's really taking
things that
out
mean more as well. Simplicity, but gives you more meaning and more love.
So much love. So much love and abundance. You know, I start to realize, like, I would read about abundance, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a lot of cash. And, you know, in reality, this is the abundance. I mean, this is really the planet, and tuning into everything we have and all the gifts all the time. And it's really a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world and people. You just to regain that trust in people and humanity and the goodness. I've seen so much goodness. You know, people who really, really want to make a difference in this world and believe that they can, and they will. It's an awakening agent, right? That's what it does. It really.
It's Pachamama fighting back and making us consciously aware of what we're doing.
And it makes so much sense. Here's something that's coming from the earth. Here's something that is a root and a leaf. And it's coming from the planet that's trying to survive, and it's being ingested by us so that we can connect to that consciousness of the planet.
Have you had experiences in ceremony with ayahuasca as ayahuasca, but also the earth itself as a kind of conscious entity?
Oh, for sure, for sure. That's the way it feels to me, as if I'm tuning in directly to the spirit of the planet. It's a being. She's a being. She's alive. She's breathing. She's birthing all the time. So she's a being just like us, and so we're experiencing this together. She's evolving, and we're evolving with her.
We're all
going through our own process, And that feminine, masculine thing, the planet is a feminine spirit, and what we've done to the planet is an example of what the masculine energy, no offense, has done to the feminine energy. So what we're doing right now is we're rectifying. The goddess is now standing next to the god. You know, it's finally that balance of energies, and so I think what we're experiencing within ourselves, balancing those energies, we're experiencing in our relationships, and what the planet is experiencing, cosmos, just waves. I feel like it's just a wave of a shift in energies, and that is going to shift everything. It's going to shift our realities. It's already shifted our realities. I mean, I feel like I'm living in a very different reality now, you know, where it's
definitely
just a very peaceful place. It's peaceful and it's full of joy and it's full of laughter and it's full of life, trees, plants, and animals in abundance. And so it's been a true blessing. Hard, you know, not the easiest path, but that's why it's the path of the warrior.
It needs to be done.
It needs to be done, yeah, it needs to be done, and you need to do it yourself before you attempt to help anybody else do it. And
Yes.
so it's a training, really, that's what it feels like. I feel like this is really, I've been training my whole life to train for this. So, just many blessings already.